Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be talking about some of the worst things I think there is in every single Skylanders game. And tomorrow, I should be making another video talking about the best thing in every single Skylanders game. But anyway, let's get right into it. In my opinion, the worst thing about SSA is that the levels are repetitive. Basically, what I'm saying is that there are some levels that are kind of like the same thing in this game. For example, Treetop Terrace and Falling Forest. Another one is Goo, Factory, and Battlefield. Some of the levels that repeat are Crawling Catacombs, Cavernous Crypt, and Creepy Citadel. All these levels are exactly the same, okay? They might have, like, obviously, like, different level design, but they just feel the exact same thing. I mean, Treetop Terrace and Flying Forest are pretty much the same exact level, except one's a bit darker than the other one. Now, none of the expansion packs do this, but the levels repeating kind of sucks because by the end of the game, you have just 3 levels that are really the exact same thing, and there's really no need for the level Mullican Mine because the next level, Lava Railways, you take the mine from Mullican Mine to get there. It just feels like they tried to expand this game to more levels than actually needed to be. It feels like maybe they had to get 22 base game levels, so they just made some levels that you really don't even need there. It just kind of sucks because that is my biggest complaint about this game. I really think this game is pretty good, but the repeating levels just really sucks. Now, Giants does not suffer from what Spyro's Adventure did. All the levels are unique except for the last couple of levels, but that's how a game should be. I feel like the last couple of levels should be kind of the same, should be in the same area, so it makes sense that they do that. My biggest problem with Giants is that they really didn't do anything new except add Giants. That's why people say Giants feels like an expansion pack to Spyro's Adventure. I said keep in mind that I do like Giants more than that to say, but what did they really add to Skylanders Giants besides the feat of strengths and Giants? In fact, if the feat of strengths did not exist, there would really be no reason for the Giants in the first place. So that just really sucks, because if the feat of strengths didn't exist, you don't need the Giants. They just kind of be there. I just wish you use the Giants for more stuff besides the feat of strengths. Oh wait, I forgot. Giants can also step on Chompies, so I guess that's a thing. Okay, moving on to Swap Force. Now, guess what this game goes back to? It goes back to repeating levels again. That's great, but that's actually not my biggest problem with this game. The worst thing about this game is how freaking long the levels are. Like, oh my god. These levels take forever to finish. If you're trying to 100% a level and find everything in that level, it could easily take over an hour to do that. An hour. And the thing with these levels are, they have no business being this long. I can think of a bunch of parts from each level that could have been cut entirely, and it still would make little to no difference of these levels. And since these levels take so long, I can get very easily bored when I'm playing this game. And I think it shows that because Skylanders Swap Force is the only game I haven't bothered to buy for my Xbox One yet. Even though I could easily do that. I just think it's a shame because the level designs are pretty great, but just the length of the levels just really ruins some of these levels, and it is pretty sad. Now I wrote Trapped, and I think this is where they learned that long levels really suck because no other game after Swap Force has levels that even come close to being that long. My biggest problem with this game is, and I think everyone mostly agrees with this, is that the game was way too expensive. Now, each level has 2 Trap Masters and 2 new cores. Okay, that's fine. Now, each element has 1 repose, except for Tech, Earth, and Undead, because, I don't know, I guess they like to be different. That's fine. That's a good amount of Skylanders. Okay, well, now every element has 2 minis. Okay, the prices are getting a bit up there. But, now every element has a bunch of traps you have to collect, and on top of that, we might not even ship some of the traps where we live, because screw you, we're only going to send these to Australia. On top of that, you also need to get a chaos trap, which is like impossible to find. On top of that, we are making some new elements, and they will be impossible to find. And one of those traps will be sent to Australia. So, yeah. You see where I'm getting with this? If you wanted to get everything Trapped had to offer, it would really just be expensive, and if you don't live in Australia, basically impossible. The game is very expensive to buy because now if you want to get the Yawn Traps, the best thing you can do is go on eBay and buy them for like $100 each a piece. So that's great. I'm happy to say that Superchargers did not do what Trapped did. It actually kind of did the opposite. If you're not counting the vehicles in this game, Superchargers has actually one of the smallest rosters. But the small roster is not my problem with this game. No. My problem with this game is the forced vehicle sections. Just to get this out of the way, I'm not a fan of racing games to begin with, so I might be a bit biased when I'm saying this, but I do think most of the vehicle sections in this game feel super forced. Whenever I'm having fun in a Superchargers level, that fun immediately gets squashed to the ground when a vehicle section comes around. I'm not talking about the sea and sky sections, they're fine, you can skip those. I'm talking about the land parts. I think there should be an option to not do the land sections. You can have like a separate path you can do where it's like dungeon crawling again, you know, the actual Skylanders formula. I just feel like some of the land sections are there just so you can get your land section star at the end of the level, because sometimes they just come out of nowhere and you're like, okay, I guess I just have to do this to complete the level. The vehicle sections should not feel this forced in my opinion, and they ruin the fun you're having on a level. Okay, now we're at Imaginators, the last game in the franchise, and I know a bunch of people have a bunch of problems with this game, and some of those problems I don't have because, you know, it's my favorite game. Whatever. Every Skylanders game has problems, and this one is no different. My biggest problem about this game is how poorly the Skylanders were distributed. That's right. I know that there are a lot of problems within the game, but I think this one is so big, the problem, that it dwarfs all the other ones. Basically, every Skylander from this game that's not Kingpin or Golden Queen are more than the retail price now. That's because they are not shipped out well and not a lot of people got their hands on the Skylanders. That's not to mention the big three, Chompy Mage, Wildstorm, and Robo. Let's start off with Chompy Mage. To my knowledge, Chompy Mage was never released in stores, only on Amazon where you had to buy him with a bundle with other villains. That was so dumb, because at that point, everyone had already bought the other villains, so you were only buying this bundle for Chompy Mage. It was very stupid. Now let's talk about Wildstorm and Robo. These guys were shipped so badly. Basically, when a store ran out of these guys, they were never ever restocked. At that point, they knew Skylanders was not coming out that next year, so they just apparently didn't care at all. Once the store ran out of Robo and Wildstorm, they did not restock them, and that's really sad because now people who want them have to buy them for like $300 off of eBay, and that's not that great. Well, anyway guys, if you guys have enjoyed this video, I've been talking about my biggest complaints with each Skylanders game, and thank you guys for watching.